Welcome to Browning Field here in Moline, where tonight we have a great Western Big Six matchup for you between the Moline Maroons and the United Township Panthers. Good evening, everyone. Bill Isaacson joined alongside by Corey Dan, and it should be a great matchup tonight. Corey, Western Big Six, Moline UT, always a big rivalry. Both these teams are coming in pretty good this year as well. Should make for an exciting ball game.
Yeah, Moline right now starting off the season 5-0. You know, you kind of sit back and wonder who they've been playing. UT, they played Rock Island. They lost to Peoria, although without their starting quarterback. They're ranked number 4 or 5 of the state, I believe, right now. And right now, UT, they've got a 10-year losing streak against these guys, and I think they're about ready to maybe turn the tables this time around.
Hey, you can tell just by watching the UT players warming up and on the sidelines, and that the intensity is there. They want to get that chip off their shoulder, and they want to be the team that beats Moline for the first time, like you said, in 10 years. And they've got the guns to do it tonight. And you look down some of the Western Big Six leaders. They've got players scattered all over the place. Dustin Smolensky, running back, second in the conference in rushing. Also, you have up there Paul Cercioni, the quarterback. He's in the top 5-6 in passing. So they got the talent out there, but Moline, don't count them out as well. They're a very balanced team. They use a lot of players on offense, especially at running back, and that is really confusing to people. And that's Jay Molina, the quarterback, has got a lot of rushing yards out of that. They don't know who's going to get the ball.
Yeah, Molina, you look at him, you got a guy that leads the team not only in passing, of course, because he's your starting quarterback, but he also leads your team in rushing. That's kind of one of those odd combinations. A lot of the coaches around the league like to say that he's one of those guys that could be one of the superstars of this conference for years to come, and he's only a junior right now, I believe.
All right, the table's set. We're about ready to go for some exciting Western Big Six Conference football here on AT&T Cable Services, Channel 38. We'll be right back with the kickoff.
Well, I'll try to keep the eye on the white jerseys. Then, of course, the white with the blue pants kicking off, and you see some bright red socks.
Probably like this, in both in the same city, anything can happen.
And I got to go back to the point I made earlier. UT hasn't won this thing in 10 years. They're really looking to get something going today and get it early.
Moline's going to receive the opening kickoff of tonight's ball game, and bringing the ball up across the 30 to about the 33-yard line is number 34 for the Maroons. And that's Brad Heinz. So Moline, their quarterback, Jay Molina, number 11, only a junior. Saw some good things out of him last week against Rock Island Alleman. Ran for a couple of scores and threw some nice balls as well, as he will be guiding that Moline offense. As mentioned before, Moline's got a ton of running backs they throw at you, and they line up sometimes in a power I. Looks like this time in a wishbone. Now they're going to shift to an offset position with a wing on the right side, and a penalty flag flies right away.
Yeah, when you look at a guy like Jay Molina, we talked about it earlier, leading the team in both rushing and passing on the year, 345 yards rushing and a passing 370, both 5 touchdowns, both rushing and passing. So he's kind of a two-dimensional type of player that can bring you a lot to the offense.
Yeah, we saw it last week in their win against Rock Island Alleman. On the 3-yard line, Alleman had everyone in the box, and Molina somehow found his way off left tackle for a 3-yard touchdown run. Offset backfield again, wing formation on the right side. Molina's going to give to the first back through underneath, and only a couple of yards going there. Looks like 34. That's Brad Heinz again with the carry. Going to bring up a second down and 4 situation for the Maroons. Just underway here in this ball game. 11.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Moline the initial possession. Now the Maroons line up in that wishbone type offensive formation. One receiver to the near side. That's Scott Rice, number 89. Molina's going to run the option. He's buried underneath. They're not going to get anywhere on that one. Good pursuit by that UT defensive line.
You can really see it already coming out of the gates. UT really crashing that run because they know they, like you said, they like to run the ball quite a bit. Yeah, they got the passing game on Molina, but usually at the beginning of a game, you want to really stick it to them. You got to go to the run, and that's what they're trying to do. But UT right now has stepped it up defensively the first 2 times out.
Patrick Odina checked in as receiver. He'll split out to the left. And at the right, the near side, Scott Rice, your near receiver. Double wing formation for the Maroons as Molina faces a 3rd and 4. Hands off underneath and nothing doing again. That UT line is hungry, and they were attacking that time on Brad Heinz as he lost yardage, and that's going to make the Maroons punt in their first offensive possession.
Yeah, and those 3 plays, we saw big guy number 72, Dustin Abney, really getting there a couple of times. 6'1", 235 nose guard. 2 tackles on that play right there. Not in that play, but of course in the last 3.
Dan Burris will be back to punt for the Maroons. Justin Shatman, one of the deep receivers for UT, and he's going to catch it at the 35, coming to the near side, and he is wrapped up and brought down right in his tracks. The 36-yard line he got up to before he's brought down there, and that's where UT will get their first possession of the night, and led by quarterback Paul Cercioni. Running backs for the Panthers, Justin Shatman, who just returned that kickoff, Brian Lejeune, also Dustin Smolinski. We'll be calling all their names quite a bit. The big guys up front include Adam Carton at a guard, also Brian Dennis in the other guard, Marcus Haynes at center, and your bookends, Chris Pruitt and Ben Schleter. Tight ends in this formation, Brian Steels and D'Amico Vallejo. Run right up the middle of the first play for the Panthers. Running that one was Smolinski. Got about 2, maybe 3 yards on that one. Second down and 8 now for the Panthers. Ball just short of their own 40-yard line. In their first offensive possession, Moline had to go 3 and out. Let's see what UT can do on theirs as Cercioni comes up to the line, has that straight eye in the backfield. We have a slot receiver coming in motion to the near side. That's Shatman. Cercioni going to pitch out to number 34. That's Brian Lejeune, and he gets a first down up near midfield for the Panthers. Just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They're going to mark it. 48 now. They're going to back it up a little bit, but a nice run on the pitch out off tackle by Lejeune.
Yeah, it was a nice little cutback block, too, as well by number 50, Alex Powell. He came back to really kind of seal it off. Ball to him get that inside little part of that corner to break it right on through that big gainer.
So a 1st and 10. Ball running out of the I formation. Well, UT will run. Cercioni wheels, hands off to the big man underneath, 53. That is Smolinski's, we're told. He's wearing a different number tonight. Wearing 53 instead of his rostered number 45.
Yeah, you can already see right off the bat both teams are really trying to stabilize themselves on the ground. You haven't seen a single pass, a couple of fakes here and there, but mostly it's all been right down the middle for both sides.
Second down and call it 7 for UT. 8:40 to go here in this opening quarter. Straight up eye again in the backfield for the Panthers. Man coming in motion, Shatman from right to left. Cercioni fakes underneath again to pitch out to Lejeune. Gets across midfield, and that's about it. The flag is down on the play as Lejeune is knocked out in Moline territory at the 48, but we'll see how long they stay in Moline territory.
Yeah, this is really something UT really doesn't want to see right off the bat. They gotten that first down to get things rolling after the big stop defensively. They really don't want to start seeing the penalties mount up, and that's what it looks like it's going to be, is bringing them back. But UT really doesn't need the penalties. Of course, neither side really needs the penalties, but this is a pretty good-looking drive to start it off, and penalties always hurt them.
The illegal motion penalty against the Panthers is declined, so Moline will let UT have that gain because now it sets up a 3rd and long, 3rd down and 7, just inside Moline territory at the 49. Cercioni, as mentioned, one of the top passers in the Western Big Six. He can throw it. He's got 2 receivers to the near side. D'Amico Vallejo is at the bottom of your screen. Shatman in motion. Handoff underneath, and getting to about the 45-yard line is Dustin Smolinski. But that's going to set up a 4th, and looks like about 4 yards to go for UT. And in this position, they can really do a lot of things. They can try and go for it, figuring they're that deep across midfield, or they can try and punt and pin Moline deep. And that looks like what they're going to do.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be punting it with number 41. We'll have to check on that number. Scott Durbin will be back there to punt for him.
Nathan Lynn and Patrick Wren, 10 and 33 back for Moline. Nice punt. Got a good spiral on that, and Lynn's going to make a running catch of the 5, run down the far sideline. He's chased out of bounds finally. Now let's see where the officials say he stepped out. Looks somewhere near the 20-yard line. But a nice on-the-run catch by number 10, Nathan Lynn. He does quite a bit for this Moline team. Offense, defense, special teams. He's out there quite a bit. They're going to say he stepped out about the 14-yard line, so that's Moline's second possession of the night, 1st and 10.
That was really a lucky play, though, for UT, because I'm sure UT coach Mike Tracy not too happy with him probably making that catch around the 5 or 10-yard line. You always want to let that go inside the 10, and he took the chance and luckily didn't get burned by it.
Moline, wing on the right side again. Molina wheels around, gives off to his second back through. Bob Strupp with the carry for Moline.
And once again, the big guy, Dustin Abney, already 3 tackles in the first 4 plays defensively for the UT defense. And right now, they're just stopping anything that's coming right through.
Strupp gains 3, 2nd down and 7 for the Maroons. As Patrick Odina checks in as a receiver, 84. He'll line up at the tight end position as Moline's going to go with 2 tight ends and 2 wings. Send one wing in motion. Molina hands off to number 34. That's Brad Heinz. And he gains a couple of more yards, which will set up a 3rd and short for the Maroons.
Yeah, they got to be thinking, well, they were pretty unsuccessful the first time around. They pretty much got negative yards in the first time around. This time they're really trying to pound it back in there. They're not going to give up a run because we've talked about it before. They're a team that likes to run a lot with many different players.
Now Moline may be opening up their offense a little bit as one of the running backs, 44 Steve Roberts, checks out, and number 80 Nick Rainey checks in as a receiver. But they're still going to go with the tight formation and break out to the double wings. Man coming in motion near side. Handoff again underneath. Driving for a 1st down is number 34, Brad Heinz, as Moline's going to move the sticks.
Yeah, you got to like the way he was just kept on driving those feet. If you see it on the video there, he just kept chugging along. Even though he was pretty much on his side, he was kept on chugging and chugging and chugging. That's what you got to like to see when you're a coach. The guy just does not want to quit on him.
Roberts checks back in as a running back. 1st and 10 for the Maroons. Ball on the 26-yard line. 5.5 minutes to go here in this opening quarter. Moline again with those 2 wings. Roberts is the near wing. They give a counter off to number 42, Stroop, and he is drugged down to the 26 after the 30 after making a few nice moves. Gain of about 4 on the play. 2nd down, 6.
Yeah, he was almost stopped in the backfield by number 84. That is Brian Seals. They're tight end on offense, but linebacker on defense. He just kind of juked his way out of that move and gained himself a few extra yards. Good job of running after the initial hit by these Moline Maroons so far.
Something you see out of Moline quite a bit as they do that, as now the single back is Brad Heinz, number 34. Roberts is your back in motion right there. They go to Heinz, off left tackle, grinds his way up to about the 34-yard line before he's brought down there by a couple of UT Panthers. Chris Pruitt, number 76, one of the initial stoppers for UT, making it 3rd and 2 now for Moline. Situation they just faced earlier in their previous set of downs. It was 3rd and very short, and they gave to Stroop for the 1st down. Let's see what they do here. They'll leave Heinz in the backfield. Man in motion, and that motion looks like it draws UT off sides. We'll see what the official call is, but looks like the Panthers jumped, and if they did, that's a free 1st down.
Yeah, good job by Molina. He really kind of one of those hard counts that tries to draw them off, and you saw about 3 or 4 guys jumping over, and good job by, and a very heady move by a good young quarterback, but looks like it's gonna be a 1st down for him.
2nd penalty against UT, and this one gives them gives Moline a 1st down. 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. 4.5 minutes to go here in this opening quarter. Still no score between these 2 teams. Each team has had a possession. This is Moline's 2nd of the night. As they run that wishbone offense, and getting the ball right now, number 35. Alex Powell is who we're being told that is.
2nd and 3. Ball on the Moline 46.
Get that mark down. Nice run there by Powell as he's made his way onto the roster here. 2nd down and 3. Molina hands off to Powell again, driving his way towards the sticks. Let's see how close he got. It looks like he's going to be a little bit short, bringing up another 3rd down and short situation for the Maroons.
Yeah, after that first series of downs when they first got the ball, it didn't look like Moline was going to be able to run the ball against that big defensive line. But right now they're really starting to grind it out a little bit maybe, and getting those big boys a little bit tired for UT tonight.
They're going to bring the sticks out and measure this one. I'm guessing they're about the length of the football short on this.
76.
They are just a bit short, maybe not quite by that much, but they are short 3rd in inches. And here's a situation right here where a lot of times Molina will call his own number, just to make sure that no one misses a handoff or runs outside a hole. He'll just take it, dive over center, one side or the other, whichever has the better hole, and move the sticks for a first down.
Yeah, you haven't seen Molina really do a lot outside of that hard count to draw the offsides, get them that extra first down. But right now, it's one of those games that the penalties have kind of hurt UT. Haven't had any turnovers. Right now, Molina, they're doing a little bit better on offense.
Maroons are going to jam-pack that formation, all of them within 5 yards of the football on the line of scrimmage. Molina calls his own number, dives ahead, hits the pile, and I don't know if he got it. That is raising uproar from the UT fans as they came up with a big surge on defense. And let's see how close he did get. It's going to be awfully close. They may have to measure again, and that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, at first it looked like he got it, but then all of a sudden this big surge and those big defensive linemen, and they just kind of pushed him back. I thought at first maybe he had the ball across that line, but it looks like they're going to measure anyway.
Looks like almost the exact same spot they marked it the first time. And it is.
And you would think they really got to go for it right here. You ain't going to get shut down twice in a row like that with the good running game by not only Moline but by the entire backfield. They just got shut down the first set of downs, but outside of that they've been looking pretty good.
So the first big decision of tonight's ball game with 3:16 to go in the first quarter. What is Moline going to do? You hear we're on the Moline side. They're going crazy over here. They want the Maroons to get this first down, and they're going to go for it.
Talk about a nice-sized crowd, both sides, both UT and Moline, very well represented tonight. Had a hard time getting here to park, I guess, but let's see what they do here.
Double wing formation for the Maroons. Molina under center, 4th and inches. He's going to call his own number again. This time he's got the first down across midfield into Panther territory at the 48.
Yeah, the big difference there, the first time around he just went right ahead and went. That time he stepped back, picked his spot. You see a lot of the young quarterbacks in the NFL and college starting to learn that trick. And it's a very good trick. All you do is you got to step back, just move to either side. You see an open hole, and that's what Molina did very, very well.
Nick Rainey in as a receiver for the Maroons. 1st and 10, fresh set of downs with 2:39 to go here in this first quarter. Maroons with that wishbone type offensive backfield. Molina gives to the second back through. That's number 24. Jay McAdams Thornton is off to the races. To the 20, the 15, 10, 5. Good night. Touchdown, Moline. Jay McAdams Thornton took that ball and broke a few nice tackles and is just in a foot race to the goal line, and he won it. 6 points for Moline on a nice touchdown run of 48 yards by McAdams Thornton.
Yeah, the only guy that really had a chance at him was number 3. That was Justin Shatterman. 5'4", 145, and just one little juke move, and he was in there for the touchdown. Those are the big plays that are starting already. That's our first really big play we've seen all so far, so really paying off for Moline to keep that drive going on the big 4th down conversion by Molina.
Nathan Lynn on to try the extra point conversion. Kicks long enough, and it is good. So with 2:20 to go in the first quarter, Moline's on top 7-0. Back after this timeout on AT&T Cable Services, Channel 38. Back to a very excited Browning Field here in Moline, where the Maroons, on the strength of a 48-yard touchdown run by Jay McAdams Thornton, capped off an 86-yard drive for the Maroons, and they now lead it 7-0. 2:20 to go here in this first quarter.
That was definitely the biggest play we've seen so far at either side, and let's see if UT has that big answer for him.
The Panthers will send back Josh Shatman and Justin Shatman, deep receivers for the Panthers. Nathan Lynn's kick, low line drive, is going to take a few hops and be taken by number 1, Josh Shatman, coming near side. Gets stopped just short of the 30, surges ahead and gets near the 35. Knocked out about the 32 is what they're going to call it. So UT's second offensive possession. Moline took their second possession, 86 yards for a score. Let's see what UT can do.
I mean, Moline looked totally opposite what they did that first drive. They couldn't get anything going. The second drive, they really kept on pounding. They didn't want to go to the passing game at all, and they just kept on pounding. Sooner or later, one of those big holes is going to open up, and that's what happened. And the youngster McAdams Thornton, one of only 2 sophomores on the starting squad.
Split backs in the backfield for UT. One wing side. They throw to the 34, Brian Lejeune, and he is off the 35-yard line across to about the 36 before he's finally roped down there. Second down and long for UT. Call it about 7.
And if UT really wants to stop that 10-year jinx, this is where they got to do it. They really got to get back at Moline after that big play and get themselves on the scoreboard. They can't really afford to get a 3-and-out and end up Moline back on offense the way they looked last time out.
Under 2 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. 7-0 Maroons on top. Moline going with a 5-man front, and this is Chapman, just tripped up across the 40 to the 43. That's going to be very close to a first down. Josh Chapman, number 1, and his brother Justin Chapman. They're both juniors, both 5'4", both 145. I'm going to have to guess that they're twins.
Could be a good idea, but
college pays off after a while. It is not enough for a first down. It's 3rd and about 6 inches for UT. Clock winding now at 1:20. Cercione up to the line of scrimmage. Sends Josh Chapman in motion. Hands off to the big man up front. 53. That's Dustin Smolinski. And he drives his way up near the 46 for a UT first down.
Yeah, well, Smolinski came in leading the team in yards rushing at 327. He is one of the tops in the leagues. Overall in the Western Big Six, he is number 2 at 188 yards on 28 attempts. That's not bad. 6.7 yards per carry.
Number 90 for the Panthers, D'Amico Vallejo checks in. Fresh set of downs now for United Township. Cercione will offset the running back, split them out, and he'll give on the first back through 34. That's Lejeune again, and he gets a couple of yards near midfield. Yeah, right at midfield, actually.
Oh, excuse me. UT a lot different from Moline. UT a guy that a team that really doesn't pass a lot. You look at Moline, they're kind of, I don't want to say equal, but Moline does throw the ball a little bit more for more yardage. Haven't seen as much out of either squad in passing, but you wonder when we're going to see our first pass play.
2nd and 6, 23 seconds to go in the quarter. Might not be in this quarter yet. Lejeune goes in motion, he gets it, and he's driven backwards near the 45-yard line. Big play by the Moline defensive line.
That was a big linebacker, Steve McDowell on that one. Actually a defensive back, but he came right through and made the big stop, and UT really got to get things back on track.
That's going to end the first quarter of play here from Moline. 7-0 Maroons on top. Come back with the second quarter right after this. Big Six, Western Big Six football here on AT&T Cable Services, Channel 38. Back in Moline, just getting ready to start the second quarter. Maroons up 7-0. 3rd and 7 facing UT here as we flip sides and go the other way in the third quarter. Cercione scrambling out, wanted to throw, tucks it under to run, and he's driven down. 82, that's Dan Burris on the tackle for the Maroons. 4th and long, and UT's going to have to punt.
Man, Moline really looking like they're a little bit more pumped up after that big touchdown round. And right now, Moline defense looking very strong. UT might have to dabble a little bit into that passing game because right now they're not getting fooled on anything.
Just underway in the second quarter. Bill Isaacson here, Corey Dan over there, bringing you all this Western Big Six football action tonight here on Channel 38. Hope you're enjoying it. Nice snap. The punt, high, little short. Fair catch signal for and made at the 22-yard line by number 33. That's Patrick Wren. And Moline, who on their last possession went 86 yards, capped off by a 48-yard touchdown run by J. McAdams Thornton, will have the ball. 1st and 10, just underway second quarter. They lead 7-0.
And you got to wonder if UT, those big hosses up front, got to be getting a little bit tired. They're out into that field a long time, especially on the big long drive that took forever with all those running plays. But I tell you, they got to be a little bit tired right now.
Maroons, customary, split those backs out to the double wing formation. Heinz, your only back in the backfield. He is going to get the football. Running off right side, running the wrong way. Tries to turn it upfield, and he lost a bunch of yards on that one. As a good pursuit by the UT defensive line strung that play out to the sideline where Heinz had nowhere else to go. He had to try and turn it up, and by then it was too late. Lost about 5. It'll be 2nd and 15.
That was Justin Shadowman on that nice defensive stop on the other side, and he was the guy that got burned by Thornton on that long touchdown run to get them that only touchdown so far for Moline.
So a 2nd and very long here for the Maroons. We may just see our first pass of the ball game by either squad here very shortly, as we haven't seen it yet. And right now a double tight end formation doesn't look like you're going to see it right here. Molina wheels around. Now he's going to throw. Has a couple open receivers and overthrows his man. Almost intercepted. Incomplete. Lejeune almost picked it off for UT. Intended for number 80, Nick Rainey.
Well, just got done talking about the pass, and we finally see our first one, little play action, but not fooled was the UT D-backs right there.
Here we just say, oh, you're not going to see one out of this formation, and boom, there it is. First pass of the night. It falls incomplete. 3rd and 15 now for Moline at their own 15-yard line. Now, from a wishbone tight formation, the 4 wide receivers out there for the Maroons. Molina, and he gives on a draw underneath the number 34. That's Brad Heinz. Gets up past the original line of scrimmage to the 27, but that's going to be all. It's going to be 4th down and 6 for Moline, and they are going to have to kick it away.
We'll go figure. They get in a formation where we think they're going to have to run, and they end up passing. Boom, have 4 wide receivers out there, and then they decide to have a little draw there.
4th and 5. Burris back to punt for the Maroons. The Shadman connection back there for UT. Josh and Justin. This is going to be Josh up across midfield into Moline territory. They're going to say he just landed shy of it, right at the stripe, actually. Josh Shadman. And 1st and 10 again for UT. 9:42 to go here in the first half. 7-0 Moline.
That was a very big, important stop there for UT, and they did the job. They pushed them back. They got into a spot where Moline not very comfortable in their play selection. They saw the pass, and they really couldn't do a lot with that when they got pretty far back there. And now UT's got it back. Let's see how they can do.
Cercioni sends a receiver to the near side, straight up high in the backfield. Gives underneath to the big man, Smolinski. Bangs off a couple of tacklers and surges ahead for some yardage. Looked like he was stopped a couple of times at the line of scrimmage. Ended up getting about 6 yards out of it.
Yeah, a little extra effort there. You heard the UT crowd just roaring quite a bit over there. They liked that play, and they liked the idea that he did not give up. And we saw that earlier with the Moline running backs on back-to-back plays.
They got Smolinski wearing number 53. He looks like a lineman at 5'9", 210, but he runs like a fullback. That he is, showing you why he's leading this team in rushing. 2nd down and 4. Cercioni on the option, pitches out to Lejeune, coming near side and wrapped up just short of the 40, which is where they need to get for a 1st down, making it 3rd and 2 with a nice pursuit by the Moline defense.
As Moline defense really looks quick in that linebacking defensive backcourt, really stringing that run out quite a bit, and they really have good pursuit and able to get out there in time to get that play.
Clock winding at 8:40 now to go here in this first half. Huge game, huge crowd, lots of intensity as UT breaks the huddle, splits the backs in the backfield. That is Smolinski and Shatman. Moline showing some heavy pressure, met at the handoff and dropped down. Smolinski was supposed to get the ball. I don't even know if he did. Nathan Lynn came flying in there from his DB position, made a great play right at the point of the handoff.
Wow, right after a big UT stop on defense, Moline steps up a little bit on a very close 3rd down conversion attempt, and was right into the backfield and stuffed right away. And that, see if UT's got to be going for it right here.
4th and 2. Very long 2. 4th and 3, we'll call it, at the 43-yard line. UT is going to go for it. Lejeune splits out as a receiver to the far side of the field. Split backs in the backfield. Double tight end formation otherwise for the Panthers. Give the 2nd back through. Same play, same player. Nathan Lynn came through in a mirror image play, made the stop, and now Moline's going to get the ball over on downs, and he is pumped up. I told you before, Nathan Lynn, I'm going to say his name a lot tonight because he's in on everything, and that time he was in on a bunch.
Yeah, you can just see it, just intensity-wise, these Moline Maroons just pumped up right now. UT, they had their chances a couple of times on some bad punts and this and that, but right now, Moline just really showing UT what it's all about.
Bob Stroop, Steve Roberts in the backfield for the Maroons. 1st and 10, 2 receivers far side. Pitch out, this is Stroop. Cutting it underneath up to the 45, just across the 45 for a gain of 2. Where he's finally brought down there by Dustin Smolinski for UT. 7.5 to go here in the first half. 7-0 Moline on top, and they have a 2nd down and 8 situation here. Double tight end formation, double wing formation for the Maroons. McAdams Thornton goes in motion. He had the big touchdown run earlier, gets through across for a 1st down, and down to the UT 45-yard line. A nice 10-yard run by Jay McAdams Thornton, who busted off the 48-yard touchdown run for Moline's score. Nice job of running there, nice job blocking up front.
Yeah, they had the initial stop about 2 or 3 yards shy. The 1st down just kept on going right through it. Good leg strength, kicking. He got right through there and got himself another 1st down.
Timeout on the field for Moline as the clock is at 7:02 to go here in this first half of play. And if you were watching a football game, you wouldn't think normally you'd see one pass in both teams' first offensive in the first half, but that's all we've seen so far. Both teams running the ball, and you know, the other teams are coming up, the opposing team coming up and trying to do a good job stopping it. Most of the time they have, but in the instance of McAdams Thornton's 48-yard touchdown run, you know, some tackles were missed, but you know, this is what Western Big Six football is. Grind it out, run it right down your throat.
Yeah, these two teams, UT and Moline, number 1 and 2 in the league in fewest points allowed. Coming in UT 9.4, Moline at 11.6, and right now combined we've got about half of that in those 7 points. So it'll be interesting to see if UT's got that answer sometime soon. They got to stop them right here before Moline comes down and scores it again and puts it 14-0.
Games this tight always come down to field positions, and that's where a lot of it's won and lost. Let's see who comes out with that by the end of tonight's ball game. This is Stroop again, running off left side this time, grinding his way near the 40 to the 41-yard line, where he stopped there after a gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
It's hard to believe. You see Moline in the first set of downs they got in the first series of the ball game. They just couldn't get anything going. All of a sudden, the offensive line really blocking extremely well, opening up some big holes for everything for Moline.
Alex Powell checks in as a running back for the Maroons, number 35. He is one of the backs in the backfield. Stroop the other one, Brad Heinz, 34, the lead back. And Heinz gets it up the middle. Now Molina keeps it himself, runs it around the right side, fumbles the ball. UT has it, but a flag is down. Hold everything. UT looked like they had it. The fans went crazy over there. But that little yellow hanky on the field can make everything go right back to how it was in a heartbeat.
Yeah, UT's been burned by a couple times, even though Moline declined one of the penalties. They got hurt by that one earlier on when Molina drew him off with a hard count. And this time looks like it might be going the other way this time for once.
Flag is against Moline. Just see what they elect to do here. If UT elects, since Moline got the ball back, to take the play or the penalty. I'm guessing the penalty. It's going to take Moline out of field goal range, or field position rather.
You can hear the UT fans not too happy with that call one bit. You got to wonder if that fumble would have been recovered by UT if this was a different situation, I imagine. But like Moline continues to get a little bit of the breaks there with that fumble by Molina. And right now it looks like, yeah, they got him marked off, but they still have the football, and that's the most important thing right here.
2nd and 15 right at the midfield stripe. 6:12 to go here in this second quarter. About halfway through the second quarter. 7-0 Moline. Get your math out. That makes sense. Receivers all over the place for the Maroons. You don't see that too often. A couple in the slot, two at flanker, out to the left and to the right. Molina, quick step, throws over, intended for Rice, makes a nice diving catch at the 43-yard line. We saw that a lot last week against Rock Island Alleman, as Molina will just take a quick step and a half back, and fire to Rice out in the flat for a catch. And that really moved him down. But again, one of those little yellow markers on the field is going to bring that back for illegal procedure against Moline.
Well, you notice this is the second time, well, actually third time tonight that Moline has been pushed back. First time by penalties, but you've seen that come out and having to pass. And that's something that probably neither team really wants to do a whole heck of a lot of. And Moline is, yeah, he got the pass off, but really look at that play. Justin Shadaman really had a chance to pick that off. Kind of surprised him that that ball was coming his way, I think, and he just wasn't expecting it. Or he could have probably stepped in front of it, took it all the way back for a score. Wouldn't be worrying about this penalty right now.
I think that ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage. You saw Rice set up and then dive forward to try and catch that. Made a nice catch, but it went all for naught, as it's another penalty against Moline, and it's now 2nd and 20 from what once was the UT 45s, now back to Moline's 45. Four receivers out for the Maroons. One back in the backfield. Molina, hands off underneath, and going nowhere is Brad Heinz. UT did not buy that one bit, and it's 3rd and a bunch now for the Maroons.
Kind of taking the play out of the playbook of Hayden Fry with Iowa. You know, every time he got a 2nd or a 3rd and about 20 or 25, they always seem to have the draw play with 4 receivers out there, and that's kind of the same situation. Not a draw, but you got 4 receivers out there. You might as well use them up a little bit.
Well, I'm sure we'll see him here. 3rd and 22. 4:40 to go in the first half. 3 receivers and a wing back for Moline is going out of the shotgun. Molina, straight drop back, has some pressure, setting up a middle screen, tipped and almost intercepted, but falls incomplete. Maroons try to set up that middle screen, and the ball a little bit overthrown and tipped at the line of scrimmage. And now, we mentioned before, field position. 4.5 minutes to go in this first half. UT starts off in Moline territory at the 43. This is big.
Yeah, the penalties really, of course, they hurt everybody, but it really hurt Moline because it took them out of what they wanted to do. You saw a couple of passes on this whole series, and now it's up to punt again.
They threw me with the down markers. Actually, it's 4th down now. Moline's going to punt. Nice punt by Burris. To the 5, rolling down. Shadaman's going to pick it up at the 1 and bring it out to the 5, to the 10, and he's hammered down inside the 10 by number 35, Alex Powell.
Yeah, Scadaman's having some problems here tonight. He's kind of got burned on the touchdown run by Thornton. He's made a couple of gutsy plays out there on returning punts, and right now UT's really got to regroup and get something going. That ball came close to going in the end zone, but he should have been backing up a little bit more, maybe able to get that ball on the fly, but let it get over his head, and he kind of got hampered by it.
So Cercione will come out with 4:19 to go here in this first half. 1st and 10 at the 8-yard line. Tight formation for UT. Second back through. Looks like Lejeune, 34. Or it could be Chapman, number 3. Get up. It's Chapman, number 1.
And you got to be wondering if Moline may be thinking, since it's getting close to the end of the first half, maybe a timeout here or there to try and save some time for themselves. If they stop them on here, maybe a good idea if you try that timeout.
They're going to give Chapman 2 yards on that. 2nd and 8 on the 10-yard line. 3:40 to go here in the first half. And now Josh Shadaman will run out the receiver to the far side. Pitch out. This is Lejeune off the left side. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Not going anywhere that time. Nice pursuit by the Moline defensive line.
Yeah, it was Steve McDowell on the tackle right there. He's had some big plays in the last set of downs as well for UT in their last possession, and he's doing it again. And right now, Moline could maybe think about that timeout if they get the stop here, but you got to think, well, if you don't take the timeout, you got to be throwing the ball a little bit more, because running the ball as much as these two teams have done really takes a lot of the time.
And you see the Moline offensive unit that is not out there on defense right now, is on the bench talking with some of the assistant coaches, trying to get something set up for another chance with the football, as they're going to have plenty of time if they can come up with a stop here on 3rd and 10 against the Panthers. Split receivers. Cercione's going to throws out to the left flat. It's caught by Lejeune. He slides down close, but I believe short of the first down marker. and that's going to bring up a 4th down situation, and the Panthers are going to have to punt it away. So Moline's going to get the ball back. Just under 3 minutes to go in the first half, up 7-0.
Yeah, one of their wide receivers looked like Ryan Rangel had a chance to get the block there. Man, probably would have sprung him there a little bit, but kind of slipped right through him, and that was the reason why it was a nice stop for Moline, and they got a chance to return this. Good field position, too.
Nice spiraling punt for UT, taken in good field position by Nathan Lynn. Down to the 35-yard line is Lynn. This is huge field position for the Maroons. 2:41 to go, all kinds of time. Got a couple timeouts left, and you only got 35 yards between you and the end zone. This is a big test here, not only for Moline, but for UT's defense.
Yeah, right now UT's defense has really been playing pretty good outside of that long run. It's been a lot of short gains here and there, but right now, like I touched on earlier, they got to be tired. They've been out there a long time. They can ill afford to be down 14-0 at halftime.
So Molina under center, sends a wing in motion. That's McAdams Thornton. Pitch out to him, coming near side, nowhere to go. Has to try and find somewhere to go, and he can't, as he's brought down at the original line of scrimmage by a couple of Panther tacklers. Justin Shadaman, one of the tacklers in there for UT. 2nd down and 10 for Moline. Clock running, 2:20 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, this is probably uncharted territory for UT. They're a team that averages more than anyone in the league, 33.8 points per game right now. They haven't had really a sniff at that end zone just yet, and they probably got to be a little bit shocked right now what Moline's done to them.
Double wings for the Maroons again. This time 42, that's Stroop in motion. He bangs his way down across the 30 to the 30, where it'll bring up a 2nd down, or 3rd down rather.
How about the all-everything quarterback, Jay Molina? Pitches the ball out, then goes out there to lead block for him. Kind of something you see out of a guy like Doug Flutie or Brett Favre, a guy that doesn't mind going out there and block for his running backs.
Double tight ends, double wings for the Maroons. 3rd down and 4. Pitch to Stroop again, off the right side, keeps them legs churning and gets very close to a 1st down. But it will be just a little bit short. 1st down marker is the 25, and right now the ball being placed on the 28. So 4th and 3, and 1:16 to go. Moline burns a timeout. We'll take one as well. The 1:16 to go in the first half. 7-0 the Maroons. When we come back, this is Western Big 6 Conference Football on AT&T Cable Services Channel 38. Back at Browning Field here in Moline, Bill Isaacson, Corey Dan bringing you all the action. It's 4th and 3 for the Maroons. 1:16 to go in the first half. They're up 7-0. Ball in the UT 28. See the Maroons keep this drive going. Receiver split out to the near side is Rice. Molina gonna keep it himself, running out, needs to get to the 25, got it, and more. But a holding flag is probably thrown down there. Looked like there's a penalty marker thrown as Molina gets down to about the 12-yard line. I thought I saw a flag fly, but maybe not.
Yeah, had a great spring block there by Alex Powell, number 35, and that was the one that got it going. And great run by Molina. That's what he gives you right there. We haven't really seen a lot out of him so far yet tonight, but that's right there what he does for you.
Well, something came flying down there by the split-out receiver, but it wasn't a flag, and Moline's going to take it 1st and 10 at the 12 of UT. Just over a minute to go here as this is Lynn in motion. Number 10, Nathan Lynn churns his way inside the tackles and down inside the 10-yard line to the 8, and another timeout taken by Moline. Well, this is a great thing for Moline. 1 minute to go. They've got plenty of time. Only have about 10 yards to go. UT's going to get the ball back to start the second half, so this is huge for them to make a stop here and not go down to the half down 14-0. As you mentioned, they're used to racking up a lot of points. They're not used to seeing this. Maybe they don't know how to react to it. So the fewer you can go down by at halftime, the better, especially they're not used to seeing a 0 up on the board for them in this first half. But that is a credit to Moline's defense.
And a lot of it could be psyche as well. I mean, you know, being a former, I guess, both of us in high school, you always had the big rivalries. This is one of them for both sides. And you lost 10 years in a row, even though you might be the better team coming in on paper. Sometimes that doesn't always come out the wins because you get down early, you might be thinking, well, is it going to happen again this year? Do we have to wait till next year? And UT right now has really got to buckle down. If they make a big stop, I don't want to say they're out of this game even if they give up a score, but if they can buckle down and get this stop right here, I see UT really maybe making a comeback in the second half.
Scott Rice is out wide to the right side. Offset eye in the backfield now for the Maroons. Second out. Pitch off to 34. That's Brad Heinz. Cuts underneath, dives towards the goal line and stops short, but maybe close enough for a first down. Let's see where they mark it.
I tell you, every single play that I've seen in the last probably 5 to 10, Anthony Molina, their quarterback, has either ran the ball for him or blocked for him. I guess I've never seen that as much as I have in a row. That Molina, they just want every single extra blocker in there to spring him, and he's doing a good job waiting to get out there and waiting for Molina to block for him are the running backs. And right now Molina not getting all the yards himself, but he's doing a great job of springing people.
It's going to be 3rd and 2 for the Maroons. They have burned their third and final timeout with 46 seconds to go here in this first half of play. 3rd and 2, balls on the 4. So technically Moline can get a first down without getting a touchdown, but we will see what develops out of this timeout for both of these squads. This is a big play right here for both teams.
Yeah, and I tell you, if Moline really puts this in, you saw how pumped up they got earlier on when they got up. And right now, it's just one of those things. You got to look to Moline. You got to look to keep on running the ball. They've only passed a couple of times, and I mean, you kind of almost got to look to that same play that Molina broke it for the big run. It's an option right here for Moline's offense.
Maroon fans on their feet. 3rd and a long 2. Molina under center, drops back, wants to throw out in the flat, and incomplete. Rice's intended receiver coming back on a little stop route. Falls incomplete, makes it 4th and 2 with 42 seconds to go.
Yeah, stop talking about them not passing, because every time I say it, they end up coming out with a pass. But right when I saw Molina come back out of there, it looked like he was going to maybe take that run, a little bootleg over to the left side of the field here for a touchdown run, but wasn't there for him this time.
So now Nathan Lynn setting up for a field goal attempt. From the spot, this looks to be about a 25-yard attempt. Made one last week against Rock Island Alleman. Snap, spot kick is in the air, and it is good. So at 37 seconds to go here in this first half of play, Nathan Lynn connects on his 4th field goal of the season, giving the Maroons a 10-0 lead over United Township. And I don't know if you call that maybe a moral victory for UT. They held them out of the end zone, did give up a few points, only 3 though, and certainly going down 10-0 at the half isn't the end of the world, especially with high school. I mean, anything can happen. We've seen it 100 times on 100 different nights, but you know, that was a nice stop by UT, but Moline able to salvage something out of their kicking game, and you don't see that too often either at this level.
Yeah, this level, I mean, I know in high school I hardly ever saw anyone kick field goals, and I tell you, like you said, yeah, it's only 3 points, but those 3 points can add up. I know UT's had some problems with their extra points by their own kickers, not saying that that's going to be a factor right now, but kicking game is an integral part of football, and right now it's helping out Moline a little bit. Not a lot, but it's helping them out just enough to get with those 3 extra points.
So Nathan Lynn will kick off now to number 1, Josh Shanneman, and number 3, that's Justin Shanneman. Standing back about their own 12-yard line. 37 seconds left here in the first half. Lynn's kickoff, a short kick, going to bounce out of bounds. And that'll give UT a chance with the ball. Pretty good field position. No time ran off the clock on the return. Still 37 seconds to go here in the first half.
Yeah, this is a lot of Achilles heels. A lot of high school teams. A lot of teams can run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Not a lot of teams have very successful passing games, and this is a part. Granted, you don't have a lot of time, but 37 seconds, you throw a couple of quick passes, you're getting in a little bit better field position. Maybe try a chance at that. You look at the passing that are in the league, 192 yards. That's not a lot of yards passing by Rock Island's quarterback Bryce Pollard.
And UT setting up in an all-tight formation. Pitch out to Shadman. Gets some running room, gets around the outside, and is knocked out of bounds just shy of midfield. A 14-yard gain by Shadman. And a first down, and it stops the clock with 30 seconds to go here in this first half. UT going to try and get down there in a hurry and get some points on the board if they can, but not a lot of time to work with.
Yeah, we talked about the kicking game is a very small part, but it's a very important part of the kicking of a squad. And right now, figure you get into about another 30, 40 yards here, and you're possibly in the kicking range for this guy.
Single back in the backfield with a wing. Cercioni wants to throw, steps under the pressure, now going to take off and run it himself. Gets to the 40, the 35, and tripped up to the 34-yard line. Clock stops with 21 seconds to go as UT burns a timeout. Nice heads-up play by Cercioni. A lot of times you see quarterbacks force that, stepped under the pressure, tucked it under his arm, just took off running, got a big gain deep into Moline territory, and they're getting very close to what could be a field goal attempt if they can't get it in the end zone the next couple of tries.
Yeah, we talked about passing as well. Paul Cercioni dropping back to pass on the year, just 5 for 11, 97 yards passing on the season, no touchdowns, no INTs. Actually does have a couple touchdowns, but you know, we talked about it over and over. The running game has been very a focal point for both squads, and continues to be that way even though they're only down by 10. They keep on running here with about 37 seconds to go in the first half.
It is amazing. We're in week 6 of Illinois high school football, and a team ranked 4th in the state as UT is. Quarterback has 11 pass attempts for the season. That's just amazing. It's unbelievable.
2 a game, and so far haven't seen much out of either side passing wise, but you know, might have to put it up here.
And you know, I mean, no one's been able to stop the run, so why not run it? 21 seconds to go here in the first half. UT going to try and get some points on the board before the half. Lejeune up to the 30, the 29. Panthers are going to try and spike this ball. Hurry, clock down to 14. 13 seconds left, 12. Cercioni spikes it into the ground with 9.9 seconds left to go. We're going to have to either set up for a field goal, which would be pretty long from where the ball's at, or just chuck one down towards the end zone, hope for a flag.
Yeah, they haven't even attempted a field goal, looks like. Well, actually, they have a couple different guys on UT that have kicked field goals this year. Aaron Schofield is the guy that has tried their field goal attempts, just 2 of them on the year.
You're looking at a 46-yard field goal, though. That's not too much in the minds of a high school coach. They're not many kids can make one of those. And I think they're just going to try and chuck it down towards the end zone here. Receiver to the far right and left. Cercioni dropping back, wants to pass, steps up, throws out in the flat. Knocked down, incomplete. Intended receiver D'Amico Vallejo. 5.5 seconds to go for UT, and one last crack at the end zone.
I'll tell you, Steve McDowell's played a heck of a first half. He's come up with about, I'd say, 4 big defensive stops. There's another one right there. Took it right out of the hands of the big receiver in UT. Thought they'd maybe try on that first one. They had one guy just kind of out there by himself. Nobody really covering him, backing off, playing a very lackadaisical defense for the Moline side of things.
Well, the Panthers are going to try a field goal. It's a 46-yard attempt, and it is blocked. Blocked by Wren of Moline, and he's got some running room and a convoy. Good. He gets knocked out of bounds just shy of midfield. That's an exciting way to end the first half of play. Aaron Schoenfeld tried a 47-yard field goal. Didn't even get off the tee. It got knocked down. Patrick Wren blocked it, number 33 for the Maroons. And, you know, he is one tackler away from breaking that down to the end zone, but he doesn't. Moline goes into the halftime break up 10-0. Run-dominated game. You're scoring to the date. James McAdams Thornton for Moline. A 48-yard touchdown run in the first quarter, and then Nathan Lynn a 25-yard field goal in the second quarter late. And that's your story at the half. Moline up 10-0, and obviously got to be a very surprised UT football team.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were expecting UT to finally have one of those rollover victories against Moline. We talked about it at the onset, 10 years in a row without a victory, and they started off very strong defensively. I really liked the way they came out and played, but Moline, once they got back on offense, just chipped away, finally found that little break and got that hole for the big guy, and he rolled it in for 48 yards.
So the Maroons lead 10-0 at the half over UT. Take a break, grab a bite to eat, whatever we want to do. We'll be back for the third quarter kickoff This is AT&T Cable Services, Channel 38. Back in Moline, just getting set to start the third quarter of play here between the Maroons and the Panthers. And right now, Moline enjoys a 10-0 cushion at the break, thanks to a 48-yard touchdown run by James McFortin Adams and a 25-yard field goal from Nathan Lynn. And Corey, you got some of the halftime numbers for us?
Yeah. We look at the numbers. We got what we expect. A lot of running, little passing. Passing combined between the two teams on one completion out of 6 attempts, 8 yards. Outside of that, many different men, many different yards. Led, of course, by the big guy that put the lone touchdown on the board. That is Jay McAdams Thornton, 2 carries, 57 yards, most of that on 1 carry for the touchdown. He leads all rushers, especially Moline. On the other side, you look to Brian LeJoy, I believe. He's got 25 yards on 9 carries. He leads the UT offense. But of course, we expected, we got a lot of running. Just not as much as we actually thought, though, yard-wise by either side.
I really expecting a lot of scoring in tonight's ball game, but right now 10-0 at the half as Nathan Lynn will kick off. UT will get the ball to start the second half. Josh and Justin Shadaman back to receive the kickoff for UT. They're the deep receivers. Nathan Lynn, very good field goal kicker, hasn't really kicked anything off too high or deep, as that one hasn't either. And in receiving the ball and down right there where he was at is Ben Sacco, number 40. Fielded the ball on a knee, and of course here in high school, as you would be in college, you're down as soon as that knee touches the ground. First and 10, UT at their own 25.
And we talked about a UT 33, almost 34 points per game. We look at their offensive numbers from the first half. They've got 87 total yards on offense so far, and that's just so far not getting the job done for them. They've really got to pick it up. They need a big drive to start off this second half.
And they'll come with one lone receiver to the near side, and they're going to throw over the middle. Caught and off to the 50-yard line almost. Just shy of the 48 is D'Amico Vallejo.
And the big stop once again, saving maybe a touchdown there. Steve McDowell, we talked about in the first half more about, he had about 4 or 5 great defensive plays. Makes a shoestring tackle right there to save potential touchdown for UT. Big play to start the second half.
Tell you what, that's a nice play by Cercione. Looked out to the only receiver he had out there, then all of a sudden, boom, tight end pops out right over the middle, dumping off to him for a nice gain, just shy of the midfield. This handoff goes to 53, Dustin Smolensky, and he rumbles his way down for about 8 yards into Moline territory at the 45, and so far UT has come out fired up and ready to play this second half.
And we talked about it, just about 80, 90 yards is total offense in the first half. They probably picked up, well, we got to say at least 30 or 40 yards already so far here in the second half on 2 big plays, passing and running the ball, and that's something we didn't expect a lot of passing so far.
This drive started at their own 25, so 30 yards right now. They've moved the ball. Cercione's going to throw. Hit as he threw, and the ball was affected by that. Heavy pressure put on by Moline's defense. Pass falls incomplete, intended for Shadaman.
That was defensive end number 87, Dustin Woods, on that kind of close call there by the quarterback sack, but just able to get it away. And unfortunate for him, incomplete pass for this time around. 5 pass attempts already tonight, 11 coming in. That's just amazing.
It's going to be 3rd and 2. Just underway here in this second half. Moline up 10-0. UT at the ball, their first offensive possession here of the half. Cercione gives to Smolensky underneath, and he runs his way. Should have enough for a first down.
Smolensky with the carry. 56.
We look at the other side. We talked about UT's offense. First half of those roughly 90 yards total offense. Moline not much better at 129. Half of that on that big gainer by McAdams Thornton.
Well, officials are going to question where they spotted the ball and see if they've got it close enough. For me, it looked like he had the first down, but I'm not down there, so we'll see.
Yeah, we saw this earlier on, of course, with Moline. They had a couple of tries and a close one in 3rd and short. Weren't able to get it the first time. Nice little play by Moline to step back and go around. Got to see if they are short here, if they're going to do the same thing. It looks like they might be just enough past that marker.
Just by the nose of the football, UT gets a first down. Keeps those sticks a-rolling. 10:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. 10-0, Moline on top. Panthers break the huddle, send 2 receivers to the far side, 1 wing and 1 lone back. Cercioni wants to throw, steps under the rush and is brought down across midfield back into UT territory. Nice tackle by Jim U.T.H.S. Blitzing linebacker came through untouched, waited for the protection to set up and then shot right through a hole. And it's 2nd and long now for UT. Nice play by U.T.H.S.
Yeah, we talked about this on the kind of towards the end of the first half. UT never really been in this situation before. We talked about it. 11 pass attempts on the season. We're seeing almost half of that in this first half leading into the second half. And they're kind of getting out of their playbook a little bit right now for UT.
And the UT offense looks like it's taking a lot more aggressive approach in the second half. As Cercioni is going to pitch the option out to 34. That's Brian Lejeune. He gets a little bit of that yardage back, but still going to be 3rd and very long, probably about 3rd and 13 for UT.
Nice little block by number 53. I don't have my programmer in front of me, but that was a nice, I think it was Smolinski, number 53 for Moline, or UT I should say, and nice little seal block for him to get sprung a little bit farther out there. Still got a little bit yet to go.
So 3rd and 13 for the Panthers. Lejeune, a near receiver. Cercioni again wants to throw. Heavy pressure again, steps underneath it, spins out of another one. He's going to run for it to the 40, brought down to the 38-yard line. Nice run by Cercioni, but he's not going to get enough for a first down. 4th and about 5, and we'll see what UT elects to do.
He kind of got excited there when he got broke that first initial potential tackle. Really had a chance to set up and throw, but he decided to run anyway. Picked up some good yardage, but of course just not enough here.
4th and 6 now for UT. 8.5 minutes to go here in this 3rd quarter. Big play here for UT as you hear the Moline fans on our side of the field getting rather excited about this one. Receiver to the near side. Cercioni wants to throw, has some time, throws underneath, and it's incomplete, but a flag down. You got to think that's going to be interference. Ben Sacco was the intended receiver, and it is pass interference against Moline.
That's kind of hard to tell from our vantage point. It looked like he made a pretty good defensive play, but
yeah, anything going away from us like that is really hard to see. So, leave that up to the guys in the field with the stripes.
I got to look to UT. I'll tell you, they're really coming out with a different type of playbook.
They're aggressive.
I guarantee you, Moline are really not expecting a lot of passing. I'm sure they probably had to think that they might go to it, but to the extent that they're doing, they're dropping back in a lot of passing attempts for the quarterback.
Panthers been very aggressive so far in this first drive of the quarter. They've eaten up already 3.5 minutes of clock time, and they now have, thanks to a penalty, a 1st and 10 at the Moline 24, and a great chance to get back in this game. Single straight eye in the backfield. Cercioni again wants to throw. Throws out in the flat. Incomplete. Intended receiver is 34, Brian Lejeune. Out of his outstretched hands, and it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 facing UT. And this Cercioni, his arm's going to be getting tired pretty soon. He hasn't thrown this much all year, and he's doing match his season total almost tonight.
Yeah, and you got to look to that too, as well as I've been noticing a lot that the Moline defensive backs have been really playing off the wide receivers quite a bit when they even get up to the line. And you'd like to see maybe try a little bit more quicker hits so as wide receivers, as that's what he's going to be doing right there. But you can see it right there. He's playing about 15 yards off him already.
2nd and 10. Give underneath to Smolinski, and he gets a couple of yards, and that's about it.
56 and 65.
3rd and long. Dustin Smolinski with the run. 5'9", 210-pound senior running back for UT. Gets about a yard. 3rd and 9. So we dip under 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
And you got to also kind of think it at this point where a lot of these defenses probably don't see a lot of passing. This is a rushing and dominated league, and a lot of these teams probably don't know what to do a lot when it comes to the passing game, and maybe UT will find that tonight.
Split backs with the wing on the left side. Cercioni keeps it on the option, and he's dropped after a gain of maybe a yard, if even that, after a great surge by the Moline defensive line, spearheaded by Wayne DeSmet, 73. Said his name quite a bit last week against Rock Island Alleman. And Cercione is down on the ground right now after taking that hit, after running the football. But again, Corey, you mentioned, you know, not many teams in this conference are used to seeing the ball thrown a lot or throwing the ball a lot. As someone said to us during the intermission, this is Woody Hayes League, you know, run, and when that doesn't work, run again just to make it work. So it's not really anything that they're used to seeing, and it's right now it's caught Moline off guard as we're trying to see what's going on with Cercione out there on the field. Hopefully he'll be okay, but right now I don't want to speculate as to the extent of the injury. It looks like, you know, the way he went down, he got twisted up. You know, you can always catch an ankle or a knee, or even, you know, just get the wind knocked out of you as he's getting up and he's walking off, favoring that right leg a little bit, maybe the knee or ankle, but looks like he should be all right. And maybe after a play or two sitting out, he will be back in the lineup.
So it'll be Colin Goebel is listed backup quarterback, 3 for 26 on the year. He might have looked like he might have actually been their starting quarterback at the beginning of the year. 75 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So that's probably your good guess there is going to be Goebel.
So it's a 4th and 9 now where they pick up. And right away, they're going to the ground. Goebel's going to keep it himself. He's not going to get it. Only got about a yard or 2. And that's a big stand by Moline's defense. Could have let UT right back in the ball game, but they didn't. And now they take over on downs, 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Yeah, by far their best offensive series of the ball game so far, and they kind of went away from what I was actually getting them down the field, dropping back on the passing patterns, and they had a couple of good passing plays, but decided to go with the run on long 4th down conversion attempt.
Now the Maroons the ball, first time on offense. That's got to frustrate you for UT. You burn 5 minutes off the clock to start the half, and you don't get anything. This is Brad Heinz on the carry, and he gets a couple of yards.
53 on the tackle.
Yeah, Heinz in the first quarter, or the first half, most rushes on the team, 10 for 24 yards, not a great average, but he's the guy that continue to pop it to him. He's going to break one just like the other guy, McAdams Thornton, with that big gainer in the first half.
2nd down and 8 now, 6.5 to go. The wishbone in the backfield for Moline. Molina keeping it himself, had a little hole at the 1 second, and then it closed up on him. Gets up to about the 28-yard line, going to give him a couple yards short of the 1st down marker, but a nice little run there by Jay Molina.
Yeah, LeJohn with the tackle there, maybe a little bit of a life-saving tackle. You really looked at that offensive play and the defensive set for the UT Panthers, and they had about 7, 8, 9 guys up there in the front. You get past that, that's a big gainer, and that's what UT's just trying to bank on, trying to stop the run. If they get through, they're going to get burned pretty badly by a long gainer by the Moline Maroons backfield.
It's 3rd and a short 3. As the Maroons pulling everyone inside the tackles. And this is McAdams Thornton again. This time, I don't know if he got enough for the 1st down.
Looks like he might be about a yard short, depending on, of course, on the spot. That's always one of those questionable things. It's all up to the referees and umpires where they're going to put this ball.
And again, we're going to measure 4th and less than a foot, I'm guessing.
Got it now.
You got to bring the sticks out. Pull that chain, 1st down, Moline.
Very generous spot it looked like to me, but I got to give Moline credit. They're continuing to do what they've done in the first half, continue to get the short gainers, wearing down this UT defense, and they're doing a pretty good job so far in the second half as well.
And certainly the well hasn't run dry for Moline right now on the ground. They've been able to run pretty much after that first possession almost all night on UT, and the Panthers are going to have to come up on defense. They have a 4-man front up there now, as Moline is going to keep it himself again, running up the middle across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. Gain of about 5, going to bring up a 2nd down and 5 for the Maroons.
That's kind of gut check time for UT. Granted, they're only down by 10, Their offense really hasn't gotten a lot going outside of that last drive for themselves, and they really got to step it up and shut down Moline because they're just going to continue to run the ball. There's no need to pass it right now the way they're going offensively.
2nd and 5 on their own 36. 4:40 to go here in the third quarter. Molina wheels around, gives to McAdams. Thornton again, banging off left side, gets maybe a yard. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 4 yards to go for the Maroons. But again, that clock keeps rolling. Now 4:20 here in this third quarter.
And this is the, of course, the differences between running the ball all the time and throwing the ball all the time. You're going to get a lot quicker games. You're going to get games that are over, I guess, of course, by going quicker.
Maroons split those backs to double wings. Nathan Lynn is your man in motion. They fake the pitch to him, and then they hand off to Lynn on the counter run, and he's got a first down. Nice run by Lynn of about 8 yards.
Yeah, Lynn only had 1 carry in the first half for 4 yards. He's trying to make the amends for that. You talked about it earlier on. Moline, a team that loves to spread the wealth. They had about 4 or 5 different guys in this team with almost 20 yards or more in the first half. They're trying to do it again here in the second half.
So Molina breaks huddle. He's got 89. Scott Rice coming to the near side as a receiver. 3 backs in the backfield again. Wheels around, gives on a little off counter play to Nathan Lynn again. This time he gets nowhere. Going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Maroons. And that clock will roll again. UT's had 1 possession this quarter. Moline is 3 minutes away from running out their only possession in this quarter, and that's something you don't see very often either.
Yeah, just continue to grind the ground. We talked about in the first half. Just the one really big play, and that was it. Outside of that, just continue to chip away, and that's what's keeping that clock running.
Moline pitched the man in motion. That's 44, Steve Roberts. He gets maybe a yard if that. It's going to set up a 3rd and long now for the Maroons, just shy of midfield at about the 48.
3rd and 8. Adam Carter on the tackle.
That's kind of surprised you haven't really seen Molina do a lot more offensively. I mean, the times that he has handled the ball, he's done extremely well. The nice gainer towards the end of the first half, and really haven't seen a lot out of him so far.
2:20 to go in the third quarter. Molina wants to throw. Now he's going to tuck it under, try and run it out himself, and the pursuit catches up with him. No gain on the play, it looks like, and it's going to bring out 4th down for the Maroons.
Yeah, he had some daylight there. He had 1 blocker, 1 guy in his way, and that blocker was for him. And he decided instead of going outside, he decided to go back inside. Might not have been what he wanted to do, and Moline not too happy with that play, I'm sure.
So Dan Burris is back to punt for Moline, as the Shadowmans are back to return for UT, and this one's going to bounce and be down by the Maroons at the 24-yard line. And that's where UT will start up their next offensive possession with 1:40 to go here in this third quarter.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier on, the kicking game, both sides. It's not only field goals and punts, but punt return and kickoff return. And right now, UT really getting hampered by that. They've really had looks like a lot of miscommunication between the 2 punt returners, and you would think they'd have pretty good communication since they're brothers.
Cercione back in at quarterback for UT. It's nice to see him up and all right. Straight up eye in the backfield. The Jones, the back part of that. Smolinski, the front man, and Smolinski will block for Cercione, who runs it up to the 30-yard line, keeps some legs driving, and stretches his way out to the 31.
Yeah, for UT, you got to be really thinking, okay, who's going to step up for me right now and really do something offensively? Cercione, a guy that you look at the numbers on the season, nothing outstanding, but somebody's got to step up right now, because this is a situation where UT has never really been in yet this season, I would imagine.
And the down Maroon is number 65, Jim U.T.H.S. So we'll stop the clock at 1:27 to go. U.T.H.S, it's not a good sign for the Maroons, but he is able to come off the field, putting some weight, or favoring that left leg. We certainly hope that he'll be all right in just a little bit. Second down and 4 yards to go for UT. Ball on their own 31-yard line. Cercione has split backs now. Smolinski and Lejeune. He wants to throw out in the flat. Incomplete, intended for
Incomplete.
Scott Lambrecht, 88, your intended receiver there for the Panthers. Third and 4.
Yeah, both teams coming in, of course, 2-0 in the league. UT has already defeated one of the tough teams in this league, Rock Island. Moline is yet to play Rock Island, so whoever wins this game right here, maybe he has a little edge. But UT, if you look at them, if they can come back and get this win in their column, they might be able to kind of a cakewalk to win their first Western Big Six title in probably quite some time.
Third and 4. This is a big play here for UT. Straight up high in the backfield. Cercione running the option. Pitches out to Lejeune. Cuts back his direction. Cuts back again and is brought down for a loss of about 2 yards. And it's going to bring out 4th and long for UT, and they're going to have to kick it away.
Yeah, Moline just continues to step it up when they need to, and they did it once again. UT had a very good drive. Their first time they got the ball here in the second half. Not the same here in their second drive so far here in the half.
Nathan Lynn, one of your backs to receive this punt from Moline. Patrick Wren, the other one. They're going to let it hit. Takes a little bit of a UT roll. Flag comes whistling in from out of nowhere, and see what that's all about.
Yeah, it was a very late flag. Almost, you wouldn't think there'd be much going on after that ball just kind of popped around.
Especially when it's just rolling around.
Yeah.
And that came from well back by the line of scrimmage. Personal foul against UT.
Personal foul against UT.
Yeah, as I was talking about earlier, is UT after this, they've got home dates with Alleman and Galesburg in the next couple of weeks. Moline is at Galesburg and home against Rock Island. A little bit tougher road to hoe for the Moline Maroons, but if they get this win right here, they're holding down the top spot in the league. And still got Rock Island, though, ahead of them.
Maybe a tough road to hoe for Moline, but that's why they got the Plowboys up front, as they call themselves, that offensive line. And Moline has declined that penalty. Figured they got better field position.
What color was it?
It's blue. It's leaking with ice, but she had to go out of town.
Figured they get better field position on the punt than making the penalty re-kick after that. So 35 seconds to go, about out of time here in this third quarter of play. Moline up 10-0, have the ball again on their own 38-yard line. McAdams Thornton. Nice run there by McAdams Thornton as he grinds his way up for about 4 yards. Met at the line of scrimmage and just kept those legs churning and got himself up enough for a good 5-yard gain.
I'll tell you, you always wonder if those sizes in the programs are always correct. He looks a lot bigger than 6'2", 190.
Yeah, usually those are somewhat inflated, but you know, sometimes they're right on. And that's going to run out our third quarter of play here from Moline. 10-0 Maroons on top. Back with the fourth quarter after this right here on AT&T Cable Services, Channel 38. Guys, $5.
How much? $262.
This is what it all comes down to, the fourth quarter here from Moline. Bill Isaacson and Corey Dan bringing you this game here on Channel 38 tonight. Hope you're enjoying it. It's a great night for football. Great ball game, great rivalry. 10-0 Moline as they pick up with a 2nd and 5 on their own 43 to begin this fourth quarter of play. Molina hands off to the first back underneath. That's number 34, Brad Heinz. He gets himself a couple of yards, but most importantly for Moline, and I know even though it's just the start of the fourth quarter, that clock's running, and 10 points against this stingy Moline defense is going to be a lot.
Yeah, we talked about at the onset, neither team allowing a lot. A little over 9 for UT, a little over 11 for Moline, and Moline only needs about 2 more points. They got this thing wrapped up, it looks like, but you never know. UT, they show they will at least attempt the pass, and that's what they're going to have to pretty much do here in the fourth quarter if they first need to get that ball back, though.
Molina, nice give underneath, and nice play on defense to stop that one out, as McAdams Thornton was your ball carrier, and Ben Sacco with the tackle.
Yeah, that was a big stop for UT and the UT defense. Yeah, I figured if Moline got a little bit closer, they might even go for it on fourth down, but they're a little bit too far for them, and they're going to have to drop back and punt. And let's see how this punt return team of UT's does this time around. They've been kind of very inconsistent so far tonight.
Burris gets off a nice punt, angling off to the side, and Shadman will catch it at the 23, reverses field 25, and he falls down right there. First and 10 UT at their own 25-yard line, close to the 26. 10:42 to go in this ball game. 10-0. Maroons on top.
That'll be kind of important for UT to, of course, keep a sustained drive, but they almost have to score pretty quick here. They can't roll off about 4 or 5 minutes on this clock to get their score. They're probably hoping for the big bust like Moline did early on with McAdams Thornton, but they need something big, and they need it in a hurry to get on the board at least to get things pretty much on track for them offensively.
And UT will employ one receiver but 2 tight ends. Cercioni gives to Shadman, the number 3 underneath. That is Justin Shadman.
44 on the tackle.
Steve Robert on the tackle.
Gain of about 4. Injured player on the field for UT. It looks to be their fullback, Smolinski, 53.
Yeah, it's kind of tough the way they're laying down and from us being at this vantage point, but all we know is he's a pretty darn good-sized kid.
You know, we mentioned a little bit about that before at the end of the third quarter. You know, you go off the program, but you kind of take it with a grain of salt at the same time. You see some guys, you know, walking through the halls at school, 5'7", 5'8", you know, maybe 150 pounds. I'd be surprised a kid gets 15 pounds of equipment on him. He suddenly grows 6 inches and gains 80 pounds. But that happens sometimes on a football program.
And a lot of the times, we talked about it earlier.
It's humorous most of the time.
Yeah, you kind of go in and go, coach kind of asks you what size you want to be this year. All right, I'll be 6'4", 235. I know that's the way it was when we
because
played.
That's what everyone does when you get a roster of the other team. That's what you do. You size them up. 6'4", 6'5", 6'3". This kid weighs 280. This kid's huge here, and then you look at him and, you know.
Kind of a sight game.
Yes, it is, very much so, and that's part of the fun of doing that in high school. How big do you want to be? 2nd and 7. Cercioni throws out in the flat, just out of the outstretched arms of his intended receiver, 37. Aaron Schoenfeld.
Well, it looked like Scott Malcolm almost had a hand or an arm around the backside of him, and UT over there, the fans kind of wanted a penalty there, and it was a pretty close play, but we talked about it. They got to go to the pass, and something they haven't done a whole heck of a lot this season.
When they're not comfortable doing that, it's pretty difficult to attain, and that's what we're seeing so far at UT. Put behind, you know, one of the few times this year they've probably had to play from behind, and now they'll employ 2 receivers, one wide left, one wide right. Cercioni straight drop back. Looks, fires over the left side, tipped in the air and incomplete. Intended for number 83, Ryan Rangel. And bang coverage put on it by Moline's number 9, Scott Malcolm.
2 plays in a row. Malcolm right there, pretty close plays, and you know, those are questionable ones too. And guarantee UT and their coaching staff and their fans not too happy with the 2 calls there. That was one they really needed to keep this thing going, and Moline going to be back on offense. It's not what they want to see with a very good running game so far tonight.
Nathan Wren, or Adam Wren, Patrick Wren and Nathan Lynn back to receive this punt. And it takes a bounce and is finally stopped at the 40-yard line. And talk about a favorable spot. That's a pretty good, yeah, now they're saying it was touched. And they're going to move the ball up, whereas initially touched. One of the UT players swatted at it and tried to knock it farther down the field. So they're going to put the ball at where that was marked, and that's the 46-yard line.
Yeah, you were just kind of hoping that ball didn't pop back the other way and go kind of negative yards for UT. So is it not really a bad play by the young guy to kind of swat it away to make sure it doesn't come back their own way?
A couple of tight ends and a couple of wings again for Moline. Molina gives it off to number 34, and that is Brad Heinz. Heinz on the run's going to lose a couple of yards, making it 2nd down and 13.
Yeah, Jeff Freeman on the stop, the senior, 6 foot, 185. As you kind of, one of those things you kind of wish you could say everybody's name on the air. Of course, when they watch the game later on next week, able to say, hey, they yelled my name on the air. It's always fun.
We can go down after the game and just scream off the rosters if you want to. It's Molina. That looked like a busted play, and Molina is lucky to get a yard or two out of that he did, reaching up to the 45-yard line. Yeah. I'll tell you what, we might not be able to get everyone's name on the air, but you know, as you look over this crowd, we look out the windows here, you see some jackets, sweatshirts, maybe a brave soul in the t-shirt, but some of the kids down there in the Moline student section in the front row are showing you why they love high school football. They are going shirtless, all guys.
Yes.
Painted numbers, painted whatever on them. Hopefully we can get a shot of them before the game's over. Those guys are marching to a different beat, that's for sure, but they love football, and they're seeing a great game here as Molina scrambles out, cuts up to the 40, and tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. Can't do it, loss of a couple of yards, but again, more importantly, he kept that clock running, and it's right now at 8.5 minutes and ticking. Moline, by the time they punt this ball away on 4th and 13, will probably be about at the 8-minute mark.
Yeah, it was about 2 plays in a row. Looked like it was busted plays, and Molina should have been stopped about, well, the play before about 5 yards back, to that time about 10 or 15, and ends up making something out of nothing.
The Shadowman twins are back to receive Molina's Burris's kick. And the ball is loose on the ground, and he's got to eat it, and that hurts. It takes away your return. It loses you 5 yards by number 3, Justin Shadowman. Lost the focus just a little bit, tried to make an over-the-shoulder catch, and got a little bit away from him. 8:05 left on this clock, and that's staring in the face of UT as they have to get something going here pretty quick. Took a very aggressive approach to start this third quarter, to start the second half off, and it looked like it was going to pay off with a touchdown, but the drive stalled out, and they've got to get something going here pretty quick. Cercioni wants to throw over the middle, intercepted, picked off by Moline, run back, and just short of the goal line is number 56, Chris Powell. Stepped in front of that pass, picked it off, hurdled a man, thought he was going to go in for a score, and then was stopped just short. And it's going to be 1st and goal, the goal for the Maroons inside the 5 at about the 2-yard line.
That one right there pretty much put a dagger in all those hearts over there on U.T.H.S side. I tell you, they've been hanging in there. They've been, to my knowledge, the entire night of their passing plays, he's been really waiting a long time. That time it was really a kind of a quick hit. And he threw into a lot of traffic there, and Powell, boom, right there, big time, almost got it in for the touchdown. And they're about 1 play or 2 away from this thing almost pretty much being over.
Well, we see Molina call his own number quite a few times in this situation in the last couple of weeks. Let's see what he does here. 1st and goal to 2. 10-0 Moline. Molina under center. Wheels around. Gives it off to McAdams Thornton, and he is dropped back for no gain, bringing up 2nd and goal. He actually lost about 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal from the 4.
Carry, loss of about 2. 2nd and goal from the 4. Stopped by Brandon Cromwell.
7.5 minutes to go, so bad news for Moline. You didn't get in on that 1st and goal. Good news, clock's still winding. 7.5 minutes now to go in this ball game, and a touchdown here is really going to silence that UT stand on the other side. Molina wants to throw, rolls out, throws out in the flat for his intended receiver. Looked like his 89 Rice. Incomplete, and check that, it's number 80, his intended receiver, Nick Rainey.
See on both sides, Molina now doing a little bit too. He's kind of waiting a little bit too long. He gets out there, pops it right away. That's an easy touchdown. He's open by about 5 yards or so. And it's another one that they're kind of waiting a little bit too long out here, and that's kind of evident. These two teams don't pass a whole heck of a lot. Molina maybe a little bit more than his counterpart on the U.T. side.
3rd and goal from the 4. Well, you don't want to waste this opportunity if you're Moline. Want to try and punch this thing in. 2 wings. And that's Lynn in motion. They pitch it out to him. Uh-oh, nowhere to go, and he's dropped down again. And that's going to bring up 4th and goal for Moline. Like I said, you don't want to waste this opportunity. You're given a gift. 1st and goal at the 2, and a chance to put UT away, but that defense is showing its pride and flexing its muscle, not wanting to give up that touchdown because they think they still have a good shot at it, and if they can make a stop here, they just might.
Yeah, we talked about it, the dagger in the heart, almost. UT can get out of this. Granted, it's a long haul, going about 80 or 90 some yards, 96 yards actually to be exact if they can stop them here, but this is UT right here. They need this stop or else they might as well just forget about this last 7 or so minutes of this ball game.
Well, 6:53 to go on the time clock, and on the rest, it's 4s are wild. 4th down and goal from the 4. 10-0 Moline on top after the interception by the Maroons. Chris Powell, 56, sent him up. 1st and goal at the 2. Couple of runs that backfired and a pass, and now we're at 4th and goal at the 4, and see what Moline can do. This is a big play for them, even though they're up 10-0. Got to put it in for a score. You know, like you said, maybe put the game away. They don't put it in. Turn it over on downs. UT's got some excitement and 7 minutes left to work with.
Yeah, Moline, a team that's not ranked, although they're undefeated on the season. They probably think a little bit of pride here. They probably think they deserve to be ranked, and right now they're playing like a ranked team.
And now Nathan Lynn's going to try a field goal. Kick in the air. Nice kick by Lynn, and it is good. So a 21-yard field goal by Nathan Lynn makes it 13-0 in favor of Moline. We'll take a break with that. Moline up 13-0 in the 4th quarter on AT&T Cable Services, Channel 38. Back at Browning Field in Moline, and the Maroons are playing some great football here tonight. They're up 13-0 over a state-ranked team in United Township, and the Panthers got to be a little shell-shocked here. Not sure what's going on, but they've run into a very tough Moline team, and it's proven. 13-0 after a 21-yard field goal by Nathan Lynn as he kicks off. Line drive. Bounced on the ground, going to be picked up by number 3, Justin Shatterman. Running across the field, has the corner to the 35 to 40, 45, just tripped up there. Just shy of midfield, the 48-yard line. Scott Malcolm with the tackle, and touchdown saving tackle, I must say, is Shatterman picked up that ball. It touched a couple of UT players. First, he picked it up, ran to the far side of the field, and got around the wall, and it was a foot race.
Yeah, that field goal really, you know, Moline got points to the board, but UT's got to be sinking there going, man, well, we're still in this thing. If they get the touchdown, 17-0, you're not going to come back. But 13-0, you can do that.
Split backs and a wing to the right side. Pitch out. This is Lejeune. Nowhere to go, but down, and minus a couple of yards at that. As number 34, Brian Lejeune, dropped for a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11 now. And what hurts UT on that is the clock still runs with the run, 6:15 and ticking away.
Yeah, they're not used to it, but they're going to really have to start throwing that ball quite a bit. And it's going to be quicker hits, but they're going to continue to look like go with the run.
Now Cercioni wants to throw. Nice catch out in the right flat by number 84, Brian Seals. That's going to move the ball into Moline territory to the 37-yard line.
Well, that passing game,
down.
I was going to say that passing game, really, we talked about it. It's what they got to do, and they kind of faked it out with that run look on their offensive set, but they went with that nice little pass play and got themselves some extra yards, and who knows.
Cercioni back under the line. Smolinski underneath for only a couple, down to the 35. 2-yard gain on the play, sets up 2nd and 8. 5.5 minutes to go.
U.T.H.S. with the tackle. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
So 2nd and 8. Just under 5:15 to go here in this ball game. And Cercioni wants to throw, looks long, down the far sideline, intended for Lejeune, well overthrown and incomplete. And that brings up a 3rd and 8 now for the Panthers.
And we talked about on the onset, 10-game losing streak for UT. That's not the only thing UT wants to start doing. They've been shut out 2 of the last 3 times these two teams have faced each other, and right now they got that big old goose egg up there, down 13-0, a little over 5 to go here in the 4th.
Yeah, to lose was one thing, but to be shut out is an entirely different thing altogether, and that's, I guarantee you, what UT is thinking about right now. You know, whether they win or lose this game, they don't want to get shut out, and they're going to try whatever they can to get some points on the board. 3rd and 8 right here, 5:08 to go in the ball game. Cercioni wants to throw under some pressure. Burris had him but lost him. Cercioni's going to run to the 30 and short of the first down marker to the 29-yard line. Nice open field tackle by Steve McDowell.
I'll tell you, McDowell, we talked about him in the first half. He has been their defensive savior pretty much the entire game, and he continues to come up with big play after big play, and he does it right there. He doesn't get him, that guy is at least going to be down there another 10 or 15 more yards on that rush attempt.
So the Panthers burn a timeout. 4th and 2 with 4:40 to go here in this ball game. Moline has played a great ball game tonight, 13-0. They lead it. As looking out over the crowd, you know, filled crowd on both sides. And like I said, the diversity, got people in winter coats, sweatshirts, windbreakers, gloves, stocking hats, and of course, no shirts.
And you got to look off the across the way UT. I'm sure most of their crowd is still in attendance, but they got to be, like we talked about it, they're just probably awestruck that they're getting just manhandled right now by Moline. Not that they're Moline's put up a lot of points on UT's good defense, it's just they have got nothing going. You look at the numbers, almost 34 points a game coming in, and UT just absolutely getting almost nothing done today. They've had their chances, a couple of good drives, but nothing really sustained, and they need something big here on the 4th down conversion.
This is the biggest play right now tonight for United Township. They need to get a 1st down here. Smolinski, you're only back in the backfield. Cercioni wants to throw. Here comes the pressure, dancing away, still on his feet, got the 1st down, and is brought down inside the 25-yard line.
Big play right there. I mean, I talked about it. That's pretty much the ball game right there. He doesn't come up with it. Looked like he should have been tackled about 2 or 3 different times in the backfield. Just wanted it enough to get out of there and get that 1st down. Big pickup for UT.
And good heads-up awareness by Cercioni to know where he had to get to for the sticks before he tried to break any more tackles. He wanted to get across that marker, and he did it. 1st and 10, 4:13 to go. Cercioni wants to throw again. Under some pressure from Burris, gets away, throws on the run, tipped, and then drops down to the turf, incomplete.
Very surprised that UT has not come out like we talked about it, those quick hits to the out, because they're just really playing very far off the UT wide receivers on both sides, and very surprising they're not doing a lot more about it.
4:06 to go here in this ball game. 13-0 in favor of Moline. UT trying to get some points on the board, and they are less than 2 scores down. If they could get a touchdown here, a little onside kick action might be able to get them back into it, but they need to score first. Slant pattern almost picked off by Moline. Cercioni puts a mustard on that one, and Dustin Woods, I think it got to him before he knew what hit him.
Yeah, they were trying that quick little slant there, and if he's not there, that's probably a decent-sized gainer, but one of those, like you said, he didn't know it was coming. And if he would have had about a split second more to think about, he probably would have had the interception. Maybe had some room to run it back.
So 3rd and 10 now, 4:03 to go here in this ball game. UT will split backs to the backfield, split receivers left and right. Cercioni throws a fade down the sideline, incomplete and out of bounds. Closest receiver was Colin Goebel. And that brings up 4th down.
Yeah, Goebel actually, I believe, is the guy that actually started the season out as their main quarterback. We talked about it that coming in, Cercione only 11 attempts on the year, and he's probably double that at least tonight. Seems like he's thrown about 20 times, but Goebel coming in 26 attempts, only 3 completions. That's why it's hard to say. Cercione maybe only a game or two back there in the quarterback position.
4th and 10, 3:58 to go. Cercione wants to throw again. Throws it over towards the goal line. No, but a flag down. Where did that come from?
I didn't see any kind of contact down there. A little bit too premature. Maybe a makeup call for those two that were close on Malcolm earlier on, but I didn't see anything close to it. And well, wish we had a replay. We just don't have that handy to us, and this might be a big play.
Pass interference against the Maroons.
Wow.
3:52 to go. It's going to be 1st down on 4th and 10. That's what really makes it sting. You know, 4th and 10, and it's going to be a 1st down just outside the 10 at the 12-yard line of Moline. So UT, they still got still have a breath going here.
Still playing way off those wide receivers on the far side over there, about 10 yards off.
Cercione spins around, gives off to Smolinski, rumbling down to the 5-yard line. Gain of about 7 on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 3 with 3.5 minutes to go.
Well, it appears that UT is finally getting on that scoreboard, and you got to look, of course, after that. Their extra points attempts have been blocked a lot this season, and that'll come into play possibly here tonight.
Cercione again gives it Smolinski. This time nothing doing, wrapped up at the ankles and stopped. He may have gotten a yard or 2, but it's going to bring up 3rd and short. 3rd and a yard for UT. 3:15 to go and running here in this ball game.
Officials timeout there on the field, looks like. Maybe a measurement.
And they have an equipment problem. Chris Powell. Referee smack him in the head. So you're all right. Get back in the huddle. I think he's fixing the chin strap. They are going to measure anyway, just to make sure how close they are. They're about a half a yard, or about that far, as the official says. And let's see what UT elects to do. 3rd down and 1 at the 3. 3:11 to go in this ball game. Cercione under center. Sends a man in motion. They pitch to him. It's Lejeune knocked down in the backfield and back to the 4-yard line. Chris Powell with the tackle. And a timeout taken by UT. 2:56 to go. And here is another huge play for UT and for the Moline defense. Moline thought they had him stopped there on a previous 4th and 10. Pass interference call gave UT a fresh set of downs. They've got 9 yards on the first 3 plays, and they're 1 yard short on 4th down, and this is a huge one because a 1st down here makes it 1st and goal, or if they can get a couple yards, they cut this lead in half.
Yeah, if you're a UT fan, you probably almost wish they would have ran it right up the gut. Seeing a lot of pitches that really just strings it out, and it takes a long time to develop, and that one did. Moline just really, they've got a lot of quick guys on the defensive line, linebackers and defensive backs. They're just quick enough to get in there and snuff that play out, and they did a good job there, kind of strung it out and just nowhere to run.
Final score, Galesburg 28, Quincy 13.
Some finals from around the league being reported in. Galesburg Silver Streaks beating Quincy.
Sounds like a Rock Island winner tonight as well.
Here we go, 4th and 1. Ball's on the 3. 3 minutes to go here in this ball game. Cercione under center. Wants to throw for it. Under pressure and sacked. Sacked by Chris Powell, who's come up with 2 humongous plays here at this last drive to give the ball back to Moline. 1st and 10 for the Maroons. Wow, what a big play.
Tell you, big games defensively by two guys that sound a lot alike. Steve McDowell and Chris Powell, the two big guys tonight. McDowell with a bunch of huge stops earlier on and a couple of here. And now Powell, the interception almost in for a touchdown, and the play defensively by the Maroons so far tonight.
Well, 2:52 to go. Moline, I can pretty much guarantee you they're not going to throw the football here. They're going to run this thing out as much as they can. So send a man in motion. And Moline is going to keep it himself and dive ahead to the 15-yard line. Gain of a couple, but more importantly for the Maroons, it runs that clock.
Yeah, UT fans now starting to make their way to the exits. Of course, they wanted to win more than anything, but they at least wanted to put some points to the board like we talked about it. This will be the third time in 4 years, barring a turnover here or so, that UT's been shut out by Moline, and looks like the streak continues.
Down to 2:20 to go here in this ball game. Molina with the two wings, and that's got to be too much time. Flag flies as Moline is taking a little bit too long to get that one off.
Well, they're trying to make the most out of the clock, of course. That's what you want. Just continue that thing to run and run. You pretty much one first down will seal you a victory, but or at least seal this game to be over. Hard to understand why you'd want to drive it all the way down there. You pretty much have a 13-0 win in your hands.
Moline with the two wings split out. Send one in motion. They're going to pitch to him. That's 42. And that's Bob Stroop. Gets a few yards on it. Keeps that clock winding. As we go under 2 minutes to go here in this ball game now, and a lot of the fans are heading for their cars. Some of them had to walk a pretty long distance to get to where they need to go, and
5-10 blocks.
We're two of them.
Once again, the Powder Club football game.
Just to remind you that tapes of this ball game are available for purchase.
Tuesday here at Browning Field. Admission is $2.
If you're interested in buying a copy of this game, you see the advertisements for it during the game. And get yourself a copy of tonight's action. As running the ball for Moline was Brad Heinz. Officials will stop the clock for injury time. A couple players are down.
All UT really has left to do here tonight is maybe try and get that ball in the end zone. It's pretty much a, I don't want to say totally impossible, but it does not look likely that they're going to be able to grab that much needed and much desired win against the Moline Maroons tonight.
Well, we talked about it right before the game that Moline maybe feels a little slighted. You know, they come in 5-0 overall, 2-0 in the conference, and you know, yet their team almost at a disadvantage, almost as the underdog to UT, and that puts a pretty big chip on your shoulder. And you know, Moline has successfully defended that as they're up 13-0 with a minute 24 to go. As Moline's going to punt the ball away, Burris to Shadaman. And UT is going after it. Almost got it. Punt away, a little knuckleball kick. Fielded at midfield by Shadaman. Dances left, dances right, comes right. Gets 10 yards and about a 14-yard return. Out of bounds with 1:14 to go.
Shadaman kind of looked like he was a deer in the midst of about 18 hunters out there. Those guys were just surrounding him. And just a miracle that he got any kind of yards on that punt return, but I'll tell you, he did not have anywhere to run. It looked like at first, as you mentioned, UT going for it. They laid nobody back there to block for the guy.
1st and 10 for the Panthers. Lejeune split out to the left side. Cercioni rolls out to the right, wants to throw, throws off balance, caught, almost picked off, but caught by the big tight end, number 90, D'Amico Vallejo.
And Dan Burris, the guy that almost got in there to get it, he was probably thinking maybe 6 points there if he makes the interception, but UT not giving up. They're going to try and get it in there.
Vallejo's made a couple of nice catches tonight. That one enough to move the sticks.
First and 10.
Nearing the 1 minute mark to go here in this game.
Yeah, that's a guy that really is all the size that it puts on there. 6'3", 220. He is one big kid.
Cercioni throws to the corner of the end zone, and the only one there is number 33 for Moline. That's Patrick Wren running it out to the 30, knocked out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Somebody got whacked over there, not really looking what was going on. Patrick Wren was the only player very close to that pass by Cercioni. Threw that a little too soon, I think. And he had some aspirations of running it out, and that should pretty much do it here from Browning Field. 55 seconds to go. Molino will probably just take a knee and let the clock run out and get themselves a big, big win here tonight in the Western Big Six. Move to 6-0 overall, 3-0 in the conference. UT will fall to 4-2 overall, 2-1 in the Western Big Six.
Looks like UT has Alleman coming up at UT's den, and Moline will be at Galesburg next week. So UT once again not able to figure out this little hex that Moline's got over them, and haven't won yet in the decade of the 90s. That kind of sounds odd, but it is a hurtful sight for UT tonight.
One more kneel down by Jay Molina, and this one will be in the books. 25 seconds left. Molina's just going to run it out as long as he can. Now take the snap, and there's the knee, and that's going to do it. This ball game is over. Moline comes out with a big 13-0 win over United Township. And a great play ball game. Recap your scoring for Moline in the first quarter. It was a run by number 24, Jay McAdams Thornton, of 48 yards for a touchdown. Put Moline up 7-0. Then towards the end of the first half, Nathan Lynn connects on a 25-yard field goal. We go into the break at 10-0. And then in the fourth quarter, Nathan Lynn from 21 yards out. Again, good for the field goal. Your final score, 13-0. But a pretty well-played ball game tonight here from Browning Field.
Yeah, you got to look to both defenses. You really got to give a hand to both. Moline, of course, just a little bit tougher tonight. They came in with the top two defenses in the league, and they showed it tonight. And two guys you got to look to defensively for Moline, Chris Powell and Steve McDowell. McDowell with a lot